Welcome to another episode of Pages and Potions podcast, where we dive deep into delicious drinks, give you our hot takes, craziest theories, and fun reviews of some of our favorite books. We're your hosts, Courtney and Devon, and thank you for joining us during what we hope is your happy hour and an escape from your 9 to 5. Before we dive in, it's very important that we note that this is a not safe for work podcast, not even a little bit. We talk about explicit books using explicit language. So if that's not your cup of tea, or if you have little ears around you right now, this might not be for you. This is also your one warning that this podcast will contain spoilers. So if that's not for you either, now's your chance to bail and catch us once you've read the book. Okay? If you're still here, let's get into it. You've been warned. For this week's episode, we've chosen Spark of the Everflame by Penn Cole, one we both devoured in record time because it's just so damn good. It's book one of a 4-book series. Book 4 is yet to come out, and we are anxiously awaiting for it. While it is the slowest of slow burns, come on, Luther. Come on. This one introduces us to the world of DM Bellator and her indecisive awesomeness. But before we do that, let's dive into the libations of the evening. Tonight, we've chosen something to match the adventurous vibes of this book, something we call the Flameroot Sour. So, what is in this? It looks so fancy, doesn't it? If you
It's
are
it's
viewing this, it's
beautiful.
beautiful. It's beautiful. And so, what are we looking at here? We're looking at 2 ounces of bourbon, an ounce of lemon juice, an ounce of simple syrup, an egg white. Put that into a shaker, shake, 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 pour over some ice. And then, what you're going to do is you're going to do a bit of a cranberry juice float. Make sure you get the UTI friendly kind for your health. Um, and put a little float on top of that. So you're turning your spoon upside down and you're very carefully pouring over top. And it should float like this. So if you can see mine, it
Mine
floats
did
on the
not.
top. Her Devon's did not float. It sank to the bottom. So we're opposites tonight. Yeah,
That's okay.
who knows?
If you wanted to mocktailify this, I would make like a black tea and do like a black tea
Oh,
version of it.
yeah, that would be really
That
good.
would be really good.
Yeah, or find yourself some non-alcoholic bourbon. I had to look it up. It does
Hmm.
exist. Yep. I'm drinking
Yeah,
Canadian quote unquote bourbon. I did not know until today that bourbon is like champagne and you can't call it bourbon unless it's from Kentucky. So it's Tabor corn bourbon, spelled Berbon, is what I'm drinking.
is it the Bridgeland? Is it the Bridgeland one?
Hmm.
Nice.
Yes.
That's a good choice. Shout out to Bridgeland Distillery, local Calgary distillery. They're amazing.
Yes. Okay. So cheers. Let's try
Yes.
this fucker.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Salute. Oh my God, that's good.
Oh,
Mm. Oh hell yeah.
I really wasn't sure with this
I'll take
one.
4 more.
I really wasn't sure with this one
Mm.
because I was like, "Oh, is it going to be too much?" Because I'm not a huge fan of bourbon generally.
Mm.
So that's really good though. Are we ever going to try a drink that we don't like though? I feel like every drink we're like, "Oh yeah, that's so good," and then we make moaning sounds into the camera.
I do feel like it's funny because you're like, I don't really like bourbon, but here you are drinking a bourbon drink and you're starting to like it.
Yeah.
So it's like you're trying new drinks that maybe you didn't think you'd like, but now you are. So we are kind of doing that, I guess.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Yeah.
I have a cocktail smoker. I gifted my fiance for Christmas like years ago, and it's like you can pick your different woods and then have like a blowtorch. So I actually smoked my glass to really get like the essence of the Everflame. And I just used like I just used like a maple brick. Like there's like a vanilla, a maple, and a
Mm.
cherry, or no, an oak, maple, and a cherry, and I used maple, and it's really good. It's very smoky, but I think my cranberry is down at the bottom, so I'm just tasting like the bourbon lemon, and I'm sure the
Hmm.
cranberry will come through after. But I love a whiskey sour, so this is kind of like our take on it, and I'm really enjoying it. I'll have
It's
like 3 more.
Yeah, it's really good. I'm usually an amaretto sour girl. I love an amaretto sour. Oh,
Mm.
so good. So this is delightful. I'm enjoying.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, so I think we need to talk about the book.
We
But before
absolutely
we
do.
talk about the book, Courtney, as some of you know who have been listening, writes the most incredible synopsis of every book that we review, and I am so excited to read this because I love you're brilliant and hilarious, and the world
Thank you.
needs to know that you write these because they're so good. So here is our recap. If you've ever thought that maybe you don't belong, or that you know you are destined for something greater, or you don't feel like you have total control over your life, do we have the book for you? In the beginning, we meet our mortal bestie, DM Bellator. Now, DM lives in a world where an oppressive upper class, the Descended, abuses their power to take advantage of a lower class, the Mortals. Would we know anything about that? Probably. Sounds a little relatable.
Hmm.
So of course, tensions are high between the two groups. Did I mention that the Descended kill babies? And that's really where our story starts. DM has been told all her life that she's essentially crazy, just bananas, which we won't talk about the trauma that's going to cause her, and also takes something called Flameroot powder to keep her quote unquote hallucinations and illness at bay. She is a healer, walking in her very absent mother's footsteps, who everyone is pretty sure is totally dead. Like we still don't know by the end of this book if
Yeah.
she's dead or alive. She lives with her younger brother, who is some kind of genius and goes to the descended school, and her stepfather, who is a general in the army and has, surprise, since this is a fantasy novel, has taught her how to fight. So, as if she doesn't have enough going on, Deanne gets confronted by the weird lady telling her to ditch the flame root powder in a back alley in Paradise Row, aka Brothel Central. So she does. She chucks that shit right in the ocean in a very dramatic fashion. I mean, who doesn't want to see a main character with the free screws loose? Hell yeah. Like, here, here. At some point, we meet Luther, the heir apparent to Lumnos. He's completely swoon worthy, living up to every single romantasy stereotype. Big, hot, smells good, but God forbid DM goes with her gut and she ends up hanging out with her childhood friend Henry, a little bitch, instead. He's a dipshit, good for nothing, piece of trash. We stand on that.
Accurate.
So,
Yes.
as the novel progresses, the reader becomes pretty clear that DM actually has some descended powers, and the flame root was suppressing them. But she's none the fucking wiser. Like, I literally wanted to reach through the pages and shake her. As if vaporizing a fucking will for creating a bubble shield situation wasn't enough to clue her the fuck in, she gets involved with the Guardians, a group of mortals with dubious morals that want to take power back from the Descended. Then she regrets it because she realizes that the Descended are people too. Hmm. She grapples with this for a bunch of time in the book until finally it all comes crashing down when the king dies and it turns out she becomes the heir. Spoiler. Now we are missing some pretty serious plot points here, but we're not trying to be perfect here. Again, Courtney's just writing a brilliant, hilarious synopsis. This is only to entice you to read this damn book because while we're sitting here drinking this cocktail, it's a great book and you need to read it. So go do that and learn what happens in between. Go read it, and you too can have the Luther Blue Ball experience because the slow burn like tension in this book is like top tier and it only escalates every book. You're welcome.
It's so true. And like I believe this is the world's worst blue lady balls. Like, so on a scale of 1 to 10, how frustrated were you with the slow burn in this book
I think
particularly?
in this particular book, I think I'm probably at like a 5 because you know it's book 1 of a series. So you know,
Hmm.
okay, they're like just establishing the relationship, they're testing the waters. She's starting to get like weird like feelings of connection to this guy, but she doesn't really know him yet. He's brooding. He's not really like his walls are up. He's not letting her in. So like there's some slow burn, but there's also kind of like does he understand what's happening? And then at the end of the book, you kind of realize like, oh, he knows what's going on. She's just a fucking idiot. Okay, she's clueless.
Totally clueless. Exactly. And you know, when the blonde friend shows up, you're like, okay, buddy, you are the blonde in a romantasy novel. We know you're not in game. Like, we know. We know
No,
that you're not in game. So let's just cut to the chase
no.
and get to the hot, nice smelling, big, scary. descended
Brooding win.
dude. Yeah, brooding
I mean,
guy. Come on, give me some lovin'.
Prince.
Like
Prince.
the prince, slowest burn on the planet. Like totally worth it in the end. Like good job, Penn Cole. But my God, I just wanted some dick down in this book.
There was no takedown.
Yeah.
Like none. There was just like tension and yearning, like a little bit of yearning. And not from her, like you could just sense yearning
Mm-hmm.
from the vibes. From the vibes. It was yearning vibes. It was
Vibes.
yeah. What about
Yeah.
you on
Yeah.
a scale of 1 to 10?
Fucking
How
10.
frustrated were you with
Fucking
the slow burn?
10. I was
Yeah.
so frustrated. I just, like like you meet the big, scary, tall, dark, and handsome dude, like that's it. Just go for it, man. Get naked, have some fun. Like that's like
Yeah.
that's my view of the world. Yeah,
You know what? Yeah.
world's worst lady blueballs. Yeah.
Oh, so yeah. Yeah. Like just yeah. But you know what? I don't feel like the slow burn is unearned. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Like it's not
Mm-hmm.
like a slow burn for no reason. The slow burn is so purposeful. And I mean, especially as you go into the other books of the series, they really do have to develop their relationship. And I think DM really just has to discover herself first before she decides to like attach herself to another person. As you learn through book one, Henry is her childhood best friend. They've grown up together. There's always just been this like kindred spirit togetherness. And then something happens where like they kind of become adults. He has his own I've become a man kind of thing happen to him. She's had
Mm-hmm.
something happen to her where they just kind of like realize like, oh, we're like adults. We're not fumbling little kids anymore. And they start to connect and they, sleep together and have a relationship. And he ends up proposing to her. And she's just like, right? Just like immediately no. Largely, I think, because there's so many unanswered questions in her life. And the big one being like, she doesn't even really fucking know who she is
Yeah.
because she's been lied to
Yeah.
pretty much her entire life.
And I like that. I actually like that she's like, hold on a minute here. I'm not going to define myself by who I am sleeping with, right? Like,
Hmm.
the feral part of me is like, come on. But, plot
Hmm.
wise and how the book flows wise and DM as a main character, I think you're right. Like I think if that had happened in book one, it like book two and book three wouldn't have been as good because you're not seeing her growth and like her finally kind of coming into herself and realizing, what's what and
Hmm.
all of that. And then it's so delicious when it does happen.
It's
Anyway,
so good.
I'm
It's
having a
worth it.
moment.
It's worth. It's like take a drink, take a
Yeah.
drink.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, it's earned. It's an earned slow burn.
Hmm.
It's not just there to be there. It's there for a reason, and I think the most important reason is because we need to know who she is
Hmm.
alongside her discovering who she is. So she ends up taking this Flameroot powder her whole life. Her mother basically has sheltered her, and she's she was born with brown eyes and brown hair, but something happens in her early childhood where they think she's basically developed an illness. Her eyes turn gray and her hair turns white. Descended are known for strikingly bright blue eyes, like cerulean, just like
Volumnos. Yeah,
blue.
volumnos descended, right? Because there's like,
Sorry, yes,
yeah, they all have
yes,
different colored
yeah.
eyes
So
depending on
where
where they're
in
from.
their particular in their
Yeah.
particular realm of this world, they're all blue. So she is from Lumnos, as far as they know.
Mm.
And so she basically people have to say like, no, I knew her as a baby before this illness happened. She was born immortal. Something happened. We still haven't like completely found out what she is. Like there's like a little bit of that in the end of the third book where we kind of like discover her who sired her, but there's still no real like concrete evidence as to what she is.
No.
Because I don't think she's like really a descendant. I think she's something different, but she has descended powers.
Yeah, yeah, I would totally agree. And I cannot wait for book four. Like I chewed through all three of them. Like I just read these. Devon read them a long time ago. My husband actually read them a long time ago and hated them. Hated everything about them. And he's crazy. He's crazy. He's insane. And we have had many a discussion since I have read these books about how insane he is.
Yeah. Well, your husband hates miscommunication tropes, like
Yeah.
hates them, and I don't feel the same way at all. And I remember, I think I made some kind of comment, and he's like, he hated it, and I was like, well, not all of us married our college sweetheart who have perfect communication skills, Lee. God, like I was
God.
just like, how dare you? Of course you hate it because you live this perfect life, Lee. Stop it.
Say that to his face. He'd probably roll his
Anyways,
eyes. But no, yeah, and it's not so much miscommunication though, is it? Like it's more about like she's grappling with, oh, I've grown up and I'm taught to hate the descended, right? Like I'm immortal. I've grown up, I'm taught to hate the descended, and now I'm living in their world a little bit and I'm learning that, oh, they're kind of nice people too. And so everything I've ever known is wrong. And so she's like grappling with these big things in her life. And so she's not communicating well. And I mean, neither is Luther, neither is Henry, neither is anybody. But
no.
they're not communicating well, and I don't think it's miscommunication. I think it's distracted communication.
Hmm. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah,
I don't think you're wrong. I think everybody's kind of so wrapped up in their own journey that
exactly.
yeah, it's totally
Yeah, they're
you're
not.
totally right on that.
Yeah, like she's not like she can't talk to Henry because he's part of this Guardians group, right? And he hates the Descended, obviously, and so she can't talk to him because she knows he'll, I don't know, kick her out or whatever. And
Mm.
she can't really talk to Luther because she doesn't really trust him yet. And she feels obligated to take care of her brother because her mother is no longer around. So she's not going to confide in him. Um, yeah, like she's not going
She can't talk.
to
She can't talk to.
her.
She can't
Yeah,
talk to her dad either because her
no.
her dad it would has also taken part in this whole trying to kind of keep her hidden from the descended. Like
Hmm.
that's part of the story is like actively her mother essentially was trying to keep her away from the descended.
Yeah.
Obviously, because she's not having hallucinations and she's not ill, she has powers, and they would have a problem with that because I think her mother knew she would probably be extremely powerful. Again, we don't really know exactly what she is. I just don't think she's descended. I
No.
think she's something else. I don't
Yeah, I
think
think
she's a
so.
descendant.
She's
I
something
think,
else entirely.
especially yeah, as you read the other books, they do a lot of adventuring to other realms and she learns a lot and she gains a lot of power. And there's like I'm not going to totally spoil the other two, but there's definitely something that happens every time she goes to a new realm that makes me believe it's not possible for her to be a descendant.
Hmm. Yeah. Read the damn
So,
books.
it's
Just go read the books. They're so good.
just read the book.
Read the book.
Honestly, like that's I say this about so many books that we read and series that we talk about before the podcast even. This book series is probably in my top five fave of all time that I've read so far. And it's not finished. I might change my mind if it
You
ends and
never
it's not
know.
the way that I hope it is, but purely based on like the world building and the character development and like the lore of it almost. I think it's extremely underrated, and I think a lot of people haven't read this book and need to read this book and need to read this series. I remember when I finished it, I messaged you. I was like, "You have to read this.
Yeah.
You're gonna love this. You have to read this."
Yeah.
And then she's
Put
like,
it
"Lee
off.
read it and hated it." I was like, "Fuck you!" I was like, "You need to read this."
It's so true. It's so true, and I'm so sad that I put it off for so long because it's so good. It really is. And
Yeah.
yeah, the world is really cool. So we didn't really talk about that. So it's this like world that's almost like in a circle, and there are nine. realms, like countries
Hmm.
in this circle world, and each region or realm has specific, their descended have specific powers and like specific eye color. And so, and they're all ruled by their own king or queen or, you know, whomever. And every now and again, whenever something special happens, like one of them dies, like what a king or queen dies or whatever, all of the leaders of all of these different realms go to the middle island thing that I can't remember its name. And they,
Car. It's about
yeah,
the heart.
yeah, the heart, yeah. And they like, they do like things. What's the word I'm looking for? Like rituals and things like that to like crown the next king or queen of that realm or
Ceremonies.
whatever. So there's like it's a really cool and interesting world too, like very unique.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like the first book is kind of the quintessential get to know where she is book, get to know her little bubble because that's really what she's living in is a bubble. Book two is very much like political intrigue. A lot happens.
Hmm.
Obviously, the king dies at the end of book one, and she becomes the heir, which was like, holy fuck,
What?
what? Because she's not defended. But how it works in Lumnos, which is where they live, the next most powerful descended gets crowned. So obviously something's going on that she's like, what the fuck? Like
Hmm.
I've had this power, I guess, my whole life. Um, like secretly, like shout out to that weird old lady in Brothel Row, Paradise Row is what it's called. But shout out to the
Yeah.
lady in Brothel neighborhood who told me to stop taking my flame root. And flame root is actually like a ground up powder that is actually guarded and regulated by the crowns. Like it is not an easily accessible medicine, essentially, is what they call it,
Yeah.
or powder. So it is like extremely relegated, and we learn because it takes away power. It takes away your powers. So her mother has been making her take flame room powder her whole life,
Hmm.
thinking like, "Oh, you have visions and you're sick and you need to take this," when really her mother has been suppressing her power this whole time. And we learn that as the book progresses because things start happening, and she's just like, "Am I hallucinating?" Which, like, also girlfriend, like of you vaporize a fucking wolf. Like, and
For real.
she didn't imagine this because Henry sees the wolf, and I was like, no, I heard it.
Yeah.
So immediately, how are you not like what? How? Like immediately, I'd be like, do I have powers?
I
Did I just
know.
do something?
I know. This was the thing
Like,
that made me want to shake her through the fucking pages because like honestly, how are you still like, "Oh, I'm just hallucinating. Oh, I'm just hallucinating," when you know this type of power exists. Like you know it's out there. Like and you're shielding, you end up, you know, shielding yourself and a woman and her baby from a dude that was trying to kill like a half mortal half descended baby. Like you put up this magical bubble. Like how could you not know? How could you not know? Like deep
no.
denial, my girl, deep denial.
Well, like, and a little bit of like Stockholm syndrome in a way by her own mother. If that's
Yeah,
if that's kind of not her mother wasn't really her captor, but in a way, maybe she kind of was.
yeah, maybe.
Like, I don't know. It's just there's definitely like so much trust and belief in a person who is not in the book. Like the whole time we're like, is she dead? Did she get taken? Is she like in a different realm? Like we just
Hmm.
don't know. So you don't answer, it doesn't answer any of the questions. We actually don't find out what happens to her mom until book three, I think.
I think so. Yes.
Like or maybe like the end of book two, some stuff kind of gets revealed, but like you
Yeah.
really don't know anything about her mom until book three.
Yeah.
Um, which is wild. But yeah, it's just like this I guess it's because she's been like force fed this belief system in herself and her forced little bubble for so long. Like she's 21 or 21, I think.
Yeah.
So
Young.
she's for 21 years she's believed these things, and now it's like, well, how do I wrap my brain around this new reality?
Yeah. Totally.
I don't know.
So hard pivot, spice scale.
Yes.
Like, what do you think? I'm at like a
I
two.
mean, there's really only, yeah, I don't even think that for this first book.
Yeah.
There's really only like one scene, and it's with Henry. And you know
Fucking
what? Like,
Henry.
it's kind of, I think it's like, yeah, maybe a 1.5. I
Yeah.
do like that. And I
Yeah.
feel like that's generous because I don't like Henry. He's a little bitch. Um,
For real. Such a little bitch. Like, that guy can die in a fire.
yeah,
Like, oh my
he
God.
just, I know.
Mm-mm.
As the books progress, you just realize he is so like manipulative. So in the book, he asks DM to marry him
Mhm.
and be my wife, and she's just like immediately like panics. And then he says something about like, yeah, and maybe like in a few years you can quit your job as a healer and, become a mother. And she's just like, is that really the life that you want for me? Like,
Yeah.
you think that's all I'm really good for? Which, like, good for her for even questioning that, because I don't think that was right of him to just put that on her immediately as if, like, this is what you're meant for. Even though he knows she's, like, a capable, wonderful person
Yeah,
and
they're like
girl.
best
Like, she can do
friends.
whatever she wants.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
like best friends. So he
He,
should he should know if they were really best friends. Like he should know that that's not necessarily her jam or she's not ready for that or whatever, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Exactly. Um, is there a spicy 69 for this
There is
book?
a spicy 69. I gotta find it here. We need some tunage or something to get me going.
Just a little, like,
Yeah, exactly. Okay, where's my annotations? There they are. Okay. So, remember how earlier I was talking about how I'm old? I can't read that with my Oh, okay. Alrighty. So yes, we do have a spicy 69. I'm just making sure that everything is here. Yes. Okay. All right. So if this is a scene between Diem and Luther, and it is right after they have gone to see the king, who is ailing. His health is failing him, and it's a pretty tense situation. Um, so it says, if you think I'm such a threat, I said, the huskiness of my voice revealing more than I'd intended, perhaps I should take you out now while I have the chance. Kill you before you kill me. Do it, he said. No trace of hesitation. He lowered his head, forcing the knife's honed edge into his flesh before I could stop it. My breath hitched as a trickle of warm liquid slid over my fingers. Luther didn't even flinch. You think I fear my own death? He whispered in my ear. Every day I draw breath is as much a curse as a gift. I've been living on borrowed time for longer than you can imagine. If you're the way my fate finally catches up to me, I can't fathom a more beautiful end. Though his tone was harsh with challenge, there was a raw kind of pain beneath his words, a wounded beast howling to be seen. Do it, he said again. Kill me, if that's what you think I deserve. But if you do, give me one favor before I go. His pulse throbbed against my blood-soaked hand, his heartbeat racing to match my own. Favor? I managed to ask, despite the heady fog clouding my thoughts. Without pulling away from my dagger, he turned his face, hot breath spilling over my cheek as his mouth trailed the line of my jaw. His lips rose to mine. No, his eyes rose to mine. Let me die with the taste of you on my lips. Our lips collided, and I was lost in the grip of his strong, rough hand as it rose to gently cup my face, lost in the palms skating down my back, over my hips, along my thigh, lost in the rumble that vibrated from his throat, rippling through the blood that slicked my fingers, lost in the sweep of his tongue as he savored me, slowly and deliberately, like the most decadent dessert, like the last wish of a dying man. Lost in the roll of his hips between my legs, the hardness that pressed between us. Lost in the way I hungrily arched to meet it. I didn't even realize I dropped the knife until my hands were on him, roaming his body, tangling in his hair. A breathy moan slipped free from my lips, and the sound of it goaded him on, my back crushing against the stone as he wrapped me in his arms. I'd never been kissed like this before. I'd never even known this is what a kiss could be. And that scared me even more than a blade to the throat. Adrenaline set my veins alight. I fumbled for my training, racking my brain for some pertinent lesson on how to fight off an enemy that you couldn't seem to resist. But only the words of my fathers that surfaced were utterly useless and horrifyingly mad. The truth is that I just knew.
God damn.
God damn. See,
Also, like, Henry, you could never.
you could never, Henry. Fuck that guy.
Never. Oh my God.
I know, not even spicy,
Honestly,
but
like,
hello.
but it's like, oh, I'm like goosebumps. Like, you can't see it, but I have goosebumps. Uh, the thing is, yeah, it's not very spicy, but it's quality. It is quality
Oh,
writing.
yes. Absolutely.
Quality.
Luther. And I think I think I had highlighted that in my Kindle and I sent it to you and we posted it on socials and I think was it Penn Cole? Yeah, she responded. She's like Mr. Casual or whatever. Like
Yeah. Like, oh my God. Like, that's another little fangirl moment. Like, oh my God, Penn Cole, thank you. We love you.
yeah.
This also, like, thank you for giving us Luther. My God. Like, I was thinking about it and I'm like, you know what? If I had to do like top five book boyfriends, it might go. It might, and I might be bold saying this, it might go like Zayden Ryerson, Resand, Luther
Really?
for me.
Okay. Okay, we're gonna have to have
Like
like a
I
special episode on
love.
this because how is Zeta number one? How is Zeta number one?
You know what? He really.
What?
I have a lot of. I know.
Madam, we need to talk about this another time though. We're
I
so off
know.
topic, but how
Yeah,
is Zeta number
I
one?
know. We'll talk about it another time when we actually talk about Fourth Wing. But um, Luther is like he surprised me.
Hmm.
I like. I really didn't go into reading this book thinking it was going to be one of my favorites. I went into it thinking like I just need something to read. I've heard about this series.
Hmm.
I've like one or two people that I've like follow on social media are reading it. Sure, I didn't even really hear about what it was about or if it was good. I just saw people like it kept coming up on like a couple book pages that I follow and I was like, yeah, sure, it's free on Kindle Unlimited. Like or it's on Kindle, it's not free, but it's on Kindle Unlimited. So like I'll just read it. And when I tell you that I think I finished book one in like 24 hours, and then I messaged you and was like, oh my God. And then I literally read book two and
Yeah.
three in like a week. I could not stop.
Hmm.
I could not stop.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it had to do with how well she wrote DM's character, but also how well she wrote Luther's character.
Hmm. I agree. Yeah, same
Yeah.
thing. I devoured these and I went into it thinking I wasn't gonna like them. Because my partner in crime over here, like we generally like the same books, like and
Mhm.
we like the same tropes and like that kind of stuff. And so when he was like, "This is the worst book ever," I was like, "I'm not gonna like this." And then yeah, I devoured all three in no time at all. I don't read
Yeah.
as fast as Devon, but no time at all for me. It was like, next book on Kindle, next book on Kindle. I think at one point I was at one of my son's practices and I finished one and I like hotspotted my Kindle from my phone so I could download the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's so underrated, and I think so many people just kind of bypass it because it's not like super dominant on like book talk streams. Like some
Yeah.
people really love it, and some people are just kind of like they just bypass it because there's so many other books right now that are just so hot, and people are like, I need to read it. That I think I don't know when this book came out, but I think when it came out, it just
2023.
kind of like glazed under the surface.
Hmm.
Yeah, it glazed under the surface and it's had time to like ruminate a little bit and stir and then now it's like starting to come out. I know a couple of other podcasters who've covered it and like obviously it's picking up some traction, but I freaking love this series. I think
Oh
it is
yeah.
so cool, like so well written, so interesting. And yeah, just the characters are just, and the side characters you meet in book 2 and 3, like it just gets better and better.
Better and better and better. So, is it safe to say that you would rate this really well and recommend it to a friend? I'm going to check on while you're
Oh,
talking about that. I'm going to check on Goodreads and see what the rating is because I bet you we're going to be mad about it.
hmm
So go ahead.
yeah,
Would you recommend this to a friend?
yeah. I mean, I would give it truthfully a 5 out of 5. Like, even though there is like pretty much no spice in this book, other than like those like hot tension scenes where like it's just a kiss, like it's
Hmm.
like one single kiss, and you're like, oh my god, like
Yeah.
the fuck. I'm sitting over here, you're reading, and I was like slowly melting into my chair.
Oh, we love Luther. The rating is 4.17. That's actually higher than I thought it was going to be. So good job, fellow
It used
readers.
I think it used to be under 4 actually, and I think
Mm,
in the last little while it started to get more. I rated it 5. I
me too.
just for every book I could not put it down. I think it's been, yeah, it's one of the best series I have read. I have told several other people to read it because I just think it is so worth the time,
Hmm.
and it's fun. Like it's an adventurous book. You're not just sitting there like it's not just a bunch of smut, which don't get me wrong, sometimes you just need one of those books, but like it has so much to offer.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
I
what about
loved it.
you?
Yeah, 5 out of 5, same thing. 5 stars. Vibes immaculate. I would absolutely recommend it to a friend.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
just fun, interesting, and I love how snarky DM is. DM is a snarky female main character. She is sassy and she doesn't give a fuck. Like she just, even though she's kind of like naive and a little bit ignorant because of how she was raised by her mom, kind of
Hmm.
keeping her in the dark, she is full of fucking sarcasm and like she doesn't want to take any shit. And
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that about her
Like,
too.
love that.
Yeah. Yeah, she is. She's funny. She's yeah, and she stands up for herself and and she's also like she's flawed. Like I think most female main characters are pretty flawed and they're comfortable with their flaws, but I feel um like she's been told her whole life that she's flawed, right? So she's coming to terms with the fact that she's less flawed than she actually thinks she is. Is that the way to say that? Yes.
Yeah.
And so I
Yeah,
think
it's kind of like a role reversal.
yeah, like she's willing to admit when, when something doesn't go her way or, oh my gosh, should I have done that? Like it's very real and like relatable.
You're feel you're you're feeling her regret and
Hmm.
her remorse and her guilt, and you're feeling her desire to change and her stubbornness and her willingness to take risks, and like like how she's written is so visceral
Hmm.
that her journey is just, it's makes it more relatable.
Totally.
Even though it's magic, it's still so much more relatable.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah,
And our potion that I'm almost done. Fit the vibe. What do we think?
I think so.
Hmm.
I think so. Like
Yeah.
mine's a little smoky, so I definitely got some of that extra flame, but I really do think it was like you wanted something strong and we wanted something to represent the flame root.
Hmm.
I think so.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah,
And it
it's
was
really good.
surprising, and I found the book surprising. So like I said, I didn't think I was gonna
Hey,
like it. So, but this was surprising because again, I was like, bourbon, not a fan generally, but this is delicious. Yeah,
just broadening your horizons.
that's so true.
Broadening your horizons.
All right, so
You're welcome.
your best non-spoiler thoughts about books 2 and 3. Granted, I know you read them a long time ago. I read them a little bit ago as well, and I read them so fast I don't even know what happens in each of them. But what are some of your like best non-spoiler thoughts about books 2 and 3 that will help the listening
Mm,
public decide to read the
mm,
books if we haven't
mm-hmm,
convinced
mm-hmm.
them yet?
I think if you're invested in learning about DM's ability to grapple with change, you will enjoy book two,
Hmm.
because book two, I think, is a lot of change really quickly. There's also kind of like a Hunger Games vibe of book two, which I really enjoy, and like very much like the Descendant are very much
What?
the the oh my god,
Like
what are the different like realms of Hunger Games called? It's
it's like
like
the people
something
from the
12, Sector
capital.
12, or like
Yeah, like they're like the people from
yes,
the capital,
the
really. Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
Descendant are like the people from the capital, whereas like the Mortals are like from Sector 12 or whatever they're. I don't know. I haven't read those books in ages. Like that. Um, it's like if you kind of like that like dynamic and also like
Mm,
just coming to terms with all of that, I think that would be your vibe because book two is very much like that.
mm-hmm.
There's definitely like some stuff that DM has to go through to prove herself. That is very public, so I'll say that.
Yeah.
And as for book three, um, it kind of actually reminds me of how we described Iphicana in the Bridge Kingdom, where it's like Iphicana felt
Mm,
like its own character. It very much feels like in book three, the realm is its own character because
yes.
we get to go on a big old adventure, and you get to go to a whole lot of places and see a whole lot of things. And every place we go is very cool and very different. And DM learns a little bit more about herself every
Mm-hmm.
single time. And if you are a big fan of bold and sarcastic side characters that also provide witty banter and love to a story, you're gonna like book three as well.
Oh yeah,
And book two, they're in book two, but book three, they really flourish.
totally. And they
Mhm.
all end on cliffhangers, like all of them. All
Yeah.
of them. And
Yes.
so book 3, when I finished it, I was like, "Oh my God, where's book 4?" And I looked it up somewhere, and there must have been an original publishing date that was earlier, because I think like it's still a ways out, I think, but I think there was like an original publishing date where I thought it was already published. And then I went to look for it and I realized it wasn't already published, and it made me very sad because I need to
Yeah.
find out what happens. Like I have a deep,
Yeah. Penn
deep
Cole.
need. Yeah, Penn Cole.
Penn Cole. If you hear this, we love you. Give us a book. Please feed us. We are desperate for it. Okay, we've been waiting. We've been
Yes.
waiting. I am hungry.
Yes.
I want it. For real though, Pen, if you could just like chop chop. Just,
Yeah, that'd
give
be
us like
great.
a tidbit. Give us like a teaser. Something, because we've been
Something.
waiting.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
so
but
great.
it's every book has a little I think every book has a little bit of something for everybody and
Hmm.
yeah, if you like a strong FMC and a broody main male character, this series is for you for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Obviously, that's my jam.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay, well on that note, I think that's all we got to say today
I
about
think
the
so.
Spark of the Everflame.
Yeah,
It's just read it. Read the freaking series because
read
it's
it.
so good and then
Do it.
join us in this agonizing long wait. No dick down unfortunately today, but we did get a super super hot slow burn kiss, which chef's kiss.
Mm,
Um if you try or drink the Flameroot, what do we call it? The Flameroot Sour?
Flameroot Sour.
It was delicious. I might make another one after this.
Mm,
Please let us know. We want to hear from you. We want to know if you enjoyed it. We want to know if you're enjoying our podcast. Feel free to comment. Witty banter, always welcome. Or tag us and just
hmm.
like let us know your thoughts. We're on Instagram or TikTok. Pages and Potions podcast is our handle. So just let us know what you think.
Yeah.
Next episode, we are going to be, drumroll please, diving into book two of the Fey and Alchemy series,
Yes.
Brimstone by Callie Hart, which I'm so excited to read. I'm so, so excited.
Yes.
Quicksilver was our previous episode. Brimstone just came out today, which is the day of the recording, which is November 18th.
Yep.
So you need to go and pick it up and read it. We enjoyed Quicksilver so much that we need to just dive right back into that world. I'm so excited to check in on the Emo Lover Boy and Queen Vampire and their merry band of fuckwits. It's gonna be so good.
So good.
And if you have any cocktail suggestions to help us pair with books, or if you have a book that you're like, I think y'all need to read this and review it, shoot us a message. We're always interested in learning a bit more about romancy, fantasy, romance, dark romance. Like we kind of read a little bit of everything, even though most of what we reviewed so far is romantasy. We do actually read kind of everything. So if you have any suggestions, hit us up. We're always open to suggestions. And until then, stay spicy, keep spilling the tea, and thanks for listening.
Cheers.
Cheers.